What up, pressure washers, service business people, entrepreneurs, whoever wants to watch me, I'm fine with that. How are you all doing? I'm Jason Geiman, King of Pressure Wash, and tonight we're just going to answer questions. So if you have questions, you can start asking the questions and I will answer your all's questions. But I do have a few questions I got started off here that I can get started off with. But before we get to that, I had an amazing weekend this weekend. I went to Denver, Colorado, and in Denver, Colorado, I had a Christmas light class. It was awesome. Got to see a lot of awesome people there. There was 5 people, and it was awesome. I also got to meet a very cool dude that just started his Christmas light business in Denver, and he did over $100,000 his very first year in Christmas lights. That's right, he did over $100,000 just in Christmas lights. And the crazy part of it all, this is the craziest part of it all, he got it all with about 120 yard signs. That's the only thing he did to be able to get to that $120,000. It was 110, I think it was, but that was pretty awesome. It was Andrew out of Denver. We had a get together and he stopped by, and so that was pretty awesome. And I am over on Facebook, so if you have questions on Facebook, I will answer your questions on Facebook, and that way I will make sure I get those questions answered also. So we already have a lot of awesome people in here, because we do have awesome people in here, and I screwed up already, but I'm gonna have to fly with it. I don't know if I can change this or not on the fly. We'll try it. I hope I don't screw something up here. Nope, I can't do it. Shoot. I can't pull your all's comments up here, so that stinks. But that's all right. We will adapt and overcome. So, again, Big Rob, I'm gonna have to quit pushing it. Again, I'm not washing the roof. Will the overspray from the house wash affect the roof? Again, I'm not washing the roof. Will the overspray affect the house wash over the roof? I don't know what you mean, Big Rob. What up, Pink Robin? How are you doing? What up, Big J from Gene? What is up? Yo, from Chad Cox. And we got Billy Forbes. What's up, Jeff? And so this week I was gone I left Thursday morning. Got to Denver. I did get to do a little bit of sightseeing and stuff like that. I went to the Garden of the Gods down in Colorado Springs, and then I also went and did Pikes Peak. And so those are the 2 things that I did do while I was in Denver. That was the first time I'd ever been in Denver. Actually, it was the second time I've been in Denver, but the first time I worked one day and we traveled through, and so that didn't get to see much. But it was pretty cool to see the mountains. The mountains are really awesome to see, and so that is pretty cool to see how beautiful the mountains are. And they still had snow on them, and so that was really cool to see the snow on the mountains. Thanks, Nix. Big Rob, you can second man garden hose. Yes. All right. I put out my money bushes from Jeremy, Maine. They work. Again, when I was talking to Andrew, he had put out 110 or 120 yard signs and did over $100,000 in Christmas lights. And that is all the marketing he had done. And so money bushes do work. I know they've been a little bit slow here lately for some people, but other people I know that they're still working. And so that is awesome to see people putting that stuff out there. What up, Aim High Pressure Washing? I got to quit hitting the button because I messed up already. That's great. Use your phone to see comments. Yeah, I got my, I can see the comments. I just, whatever. And I got my other thing up here for Facebook. So if anybody's on Facebook giving comments, I can see your comments over here on the old Facebook. So I can see both. I saw DJ at Menards today. Haha didn't bother him. He was fixing to plumb something. Awesome. I've been scheduled for next year plus 800 to do $1,300 a day. That's awesome. Awesome. It's a Galvalume roof. We got to be careful with Galvalume. Galvalume is one of those things that it can mess up pretty bad. And even a house wash mix overspray on it can mess up a Galvalume. It'll make it turn black is what it'll do. So we got to be very, very careful on the old Galvalume roofing. We got Al in the house. Al from Dayton, Ohio, hanging in there one day at a time. Were you able to partake in their great weed? Actually, I was looking at it. I didn't know it is legal, but you're not allowed to smoke it out in public, and I didn't know that. That it said at the hotel you was not allowed to smoke it out in the hotel or out in the thing. So I see somebody giving me some thumbs up on the old Facebook. Thanks for that. $4,500 pressure washing job in one day last week. That is awesome. And so I had two great success stories come into me this week. One was he did $100,000 in the Christmas light season, and another one, I'm not going to say no names, but they sent me a picture of a deposit slip of over $101,000. And they said before they started their pressure washing job, that was more than both of them for 2 years of their income. And so that's pretty awesome to see those types of people coming in here and learning how to do and run a successful business and do over $100,000. And it is definitely possible. And that is awesome to see that and see people being successful. We got Jordan, Mr. Jordan. I can't say his first name, from South Africa. What time is it on your side? It is 9 o'clock Eastern time. 9 o'clock Eastern time. 3 o'clock in the morning. Whew. Has anyone's Google account been adding services that you do not provide? That can happen. People can do that to you, or Google can do it to you for whatever reason. And sometimes it's just what it is. Jason, let me hear you say it. Hey, Legend Marsh. Hello, do you charge the same to Softwash different types of siding? Yes, I do. Actually, I might charge more if it's stucco, just because it's not going to be as easy, or if it is brick. How you doing, Jack Garrett? What up, Jesse James? Pensacola in the house. I just mounted a pressure washer and reel in the bed of my truck. I'm ready to get my feet wet on the weekends. Start working at marketing, because marketing is what is going to grow your business. How can I tell a roof or a building is Galvalume? Usually it's going to be the roof, and it's like a gray color. It looks like a metal roof, but it's kind of like a gray color, and then when you spray it, it will turn black, and it's not good. Mr. George is in the house. How you doing? I don't know if anybody's talking over on Facebook. I can see the lights coming up, but nothing is coming up in the chat. If that's the case, I will look at that. So I'm going to hit some of the questions that I had put up here first, and then if you all have questions, definitely start answering. What up? Robert James is on Facebook. I did just see that come through on the old Facebook. So if you have questions on the old Facebook, you can ask over there too. So what is pressure washing? What is it? Can you make money doing pressure washing? And yes, you can make money doing pressure washing. Pressure washing is not how we clean stuff. We want to use a soft wash is how we want to clean stuff. The only thing we're going to pressure wash is going to be through concrete cleaning. Concrete cleaning, we're going to use a surface cleaner, and that is how we're going to clean with concrete. But other than that, we are going to use a pressure washing. Everybody calls it pressure washing, but we're going to use things like a downstream injector or an X-Jet, and this is going to make it let us do soft washing. And soft washing is cleaning with a chemical, using a chemical to clean anything. And this is where we go back into high school about the pH scale, and this is how we clean stuff. If it is organic stuff, if it grows and it is organic, we are going to use a chemical called sodium hypochlorite or SH. also known as pool shock. And pool shock, we can get it in 10% or 12%. That means it's 90% water, 10% sodium hypochlorite. And this is how we can do pressure washing using low pressure and a pressure washer with a downstream injector. Because when we're cleaning the house, we're going to use less than 80 to 100 PSI. And that is how we're able to clean a house. And so that is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. What are the benefits of pressure washing? Well, you can make lots of money. You can make $100,000 a year. You can do $50,000 a year. You might only want to do $10,000 a year. You might only want to do $1,000 a year. That might be your goal, is $1,000 a year. And you can make that kind of money doing pressure washing. And so that is pretty awesome. How does pressure washing work? Well, that kind of goes back up to my last question up there of, we don't use high pressure. We're going to use a downstream injector or an X-Jet or a 12-volt system or a gas system. Basically, we got to get chemical from one side on the house, and there's several different ways that we can do that, and that is how we are going to do that. So if you all have questions, make sure you're asking them. What kind of equipment do I need to start pressure washing? Well, first off, you can use a pressure washer. I mean, technically, you could use a pump-up sprayer. I know people that have done it. I did a video on it. He's got a 3.3 pressure washer. He has a little surface cleaner. He had a pump-up sprayer, and he did a $3,800 job with it. And yes, you can do $3,800 even without some big monstrous rig out there. So you can do that. Next question. How much money can you make pressure washing? As much as you want. There's people out there that make $1,000 a year and they're happy with that. There's people out there that maybe only want to make $10,000 or $20,000 a year, enough to do a vacation, a nice vacation, or, pay off a little debt. Maybe somebody wants to do $50,000, just to do it part-time. Maybe you want to make $100,000, 6 figures, and you can do that too. You can do 500,000. You can do, I got people in here that's going to do 250,000 that's doing it part-time. That he has another full-time job and going to do over 250,000 in pressure washing. We got Pink Pro Wash. He's going to do $1 million this year. I don't know if that's his numbers for real, but he did 400,000 last year, so I know he's going to do 750 this year. He actually just sent me a message a couple days ago saying, look, we got $55,000 on the books for May. And so them are some awesome numbers to be able to pull when we're dealing with pressure washing, and how much money can we make. Now, this is the last question other than what you all are going to ask. What are the risks associated with pressure washing? And this is a big one because this goes down to safety. We are using high pressure. All it takes is one drop of high pressure getting injected into our skin, and it can literally kill you. You could fall off the ladder and not land right, and that can put you out of commission. There's a lot of risk. If we blow a hose, we want to make sure we go turn the machine off, so that way we're not going to get it. If we get chemical burns, if we get sodium hypochlorite on us and it's 2%, 4%, 6%, it can actually give us third-degree burns. And we use other chemicals that can be really nasty. And so this is some things that can be risks of associated. We can screw things up. We can kill plants. We can kill fish. We can do all kinds of different things that we can do if we're not being careful with using a pressure washer. Andrew put, word of mouth and money bushes have been doing great for me lately. Been doing $2,500 weeks. And that's awesome. And I want to hit on something real quick on money bushes, because I love money bushes. Money bushes are awesome. Money bushes are definitely, I don't know if this is going to come up here or not, because this is all screwed up. I got it screwed up here. Money bushes, these here, yard signs. Yard signs work amazing. Now, I want to hit on something here real quick with this here. Let me get this fade level. Whoop, that's way crazy. Let me hit on this here real quick. So, moneybushes.com. It happened to somebody just this week that's in my mentorship, and it happened to DJ in the very beginning of the year. Make sure we have the right phone number. Don't make sure when we're doing this, make sure we got the right phone number. It just happened to somebody this past week, and it's happened to DJ at the beginning of the year. He actually put his home phone number that he never answers on the sign, and that's not going to do no good. So make sure you double check, triple check, quadruple check that you have the right phone number when we are ordering money bushes. Money bushes work great, but if we have the wrong phone number on them, they're not going to work very good. So make sure that we have the right phone number on those money bushes. Because the last thing I want you to do is have the wrong phone number on the old money bushes. How do you feel about the Sun Joe power washing? I need something small like a 1.7 GPM to compatible with a DI tank when doing RVs. Know anything about those things? Not those little ones. Actually, I think we got one at Water Rescue, and it's a little electric one. I mean, it is what it is. So, what's a good log truck cleaner? I'm going to say probably something along the lines of a good degreaser and a good truck wash is where you would probably be at. There's some, I can't think of the name of it. I would call any of your pressure washing stores are going to be able to get you some better ones than that. Gosh dang it, I keep bringing that up and I forget that I don't know what I've done to screw this up. Let's see if I can fix this real quick. I don't know if I can because this is driving me nuts. Do you burn through more SH using an etch-jet or more through a 5.5 gallon Softwash system? You're probably going to burn more through a Softwash system is what you're going to burn more through, just because you are. Let's see, background. If I get rid of the background, will that give me it? Nope. Shoot. There it is. Restore. There we go. Save. Let's see if that'll fix it. Yay! I fixed it. Hallelujah. Good. Now I can bring you guys up. What is the best thing to use on a chimney for Suet? I'm going to try it with SH, and then if that don't work, I'm going to hit it with some degreaser. EBC, Purple Power, anything degreaser is going to knock that Suet off of it. So them are the two things I'm going to use when I'm trying to get Suet off of there. So either, like I say, use EBC, Super Clean, any of those things will be good to get that Suet off of there. Starting to push window cleaning, continuing gutters, 12 months plan, and we'll be expanding service area and try to do Christmas lights for 2023 and 2024. I want to go full time. That's awesome. You mentioned an insurance company or agent's local Cincinnati area. Believe it was Matt Zinzer, something looking to change company. Thanks. Matt Zinzer. And if you go to pressurewashhelp.com/insurance, is going to be your best option because there's actually like Zinzer Insurance, and it's not the same Zinzer Insurance as Matt Zinzer. So if you go to pressurewashhelp.com/insurance and fill out that, it will actually send it straight to him there. I'm done with friend discounts. That's a beautiful thing to get rid of because them are the people. Actually, I read something the other day that, customers want to be your friend, or friends that want to be customers are the worst, and then customers that become friends are usually the best because they're willing to keep paying you. How do you clean right up under the roof? The black marks from the roof. How do you clean right up under the roof? I don't know what you mean. We're going to use sodium hypochlorite. Just clean it. Just finished a $15,000 job. That's super high-fiving right there. That's awesome and amazing. Clean it up. It took 2 days. It came from a cold email I sent out. I have been making it a point to send out at least 10 first thing each morning. high five. That's awesome, and that's a great thing to keep doing. That is amazing. Another thing I would do too with those emails is I would be going into your LinkedIn and adding them people into your LinkedIn, because a lot of times business or property managers move around a lot, and so that's why we want to make sure we have access to those people, so that way we can keep getting them and doing what we need to. Hey, this is Vincent Bell. My business name is Five Guys in a Truck. We mainly do detailing. Can pressure washer also? Can pressure wash also? Awesome. I was kind of thinking that, Nick, maybe cut my half SH in half, so use about 0.5. What is the best pressure washer to start off with? Well, this is a great question, and a lot of people struggle with this. And so what I'm going to tell you is you want at least a 4 gallon a minute pressure washer. It does not matter about PSI. It does not matter about PSI at all. You can have 10,000 PSI and it's not going to do anything, because when we're cleaning a house, like I said when I first started this video, when we are cleaning a house, we are going to use low pressure. So our pressure is the only thing we need pressure for is our surface cleaner, and that all we need, I think, is around 12 to 1500 psi to run our surface cleaner. So what we really need is the GPM. The more GPM, the faster you can clean. Now, if you can't afford a higher GPM, some things that you can do is start out with a 4 gallon. A 4 gallon, and try to not you can get the DeWalt one, but they're not going to last. It's okay, but it's not the best thing out there. And so what you want to do is I would recommend doing a 5.5 gallon. You're going to be looking at about $1,600 to $2,000. Or you could go 8 gallon a minute if you got money, but that's a lot. You're looking at $3,500 to $4,000, and if they got them in stock. But that 5.5 gallon machine on that little 390 will get you a lot and works really well and gets a lot of stuff done fast. It's Mr. Sal. Hey, all. What's the average square foot cost for concrete sidewalk pressure washing? I'm going to try to shoot for 20 to 30 cents a square foot is where I'm shooting for. Now, if it's like 10,000 square foot or something, 100,000 square foot, then we're going to come down into the teens, 15, 10 cents area. And some people will do it for 5, 6 cents in those like parking garages and stuff. I chose the 5.5 with the Honda. Yes, that's the one I would push. If I was going to start and I had limited funds, this is the one I would be starting with, is this guy right here. How do you deal with minimizing weep hole drip? Try to get a good rain down effect. Try to back up, get a good rain down effect so we're not shooting up in that weep hole. This is why I teach the walk-arounds. This is why I teach to do the first walk-around, do the walk-around with a customer, go do your 5 rounds, and come back and do the another walk-around, the final one, for this weep hole drippage. Sometimes in this cooler air weather, it will allow that stuff to drip a little bit longer because it's not hot enough behind there to really dry it out real fast. And so those are some things that we can do. Friday morning, Mr. Michael put, Friday morning, lady needed cleaning for an appraisal on a Sunday. I said the only way is to reschedule people and charge her more. She said she paid extra $200. That's exactly right. People will pay it. They need it done. They need it done. I'm on pace for my first $10,000 month. High five, Big Rob. I know that's a huge milestone for you. I know you've been trying to get that, and that is awesome, and that is amazing, and I still want to clap some more for you because that is awesome. I know you've been trying to get this for a while, and so that's going to be a huge milestone. And so when you do that, I want you to celebrate by going out or doing something special for yourself, because that's a huge accomplishment for you, and that is awesome. That is awesome. What cleans the best? I already hit on that one. Let's see. Continue washing the entire house and come back at the end and light brush or towel or on extension pole and wipe. That's another thing that I've done too. But we got to be careful so you don't wipe the oxidation off, but kind of just hit it real quick and knock it off that way. Chasing down a big goal this month. Here's another one going to hit a big goal this month. So this is awesome. Are you doing the Sunday night Zoom calls anymore? I am. Hank asked it over on Facebook. I do it. The last one was supposed to be last week. That was Mother's Day, and I was out of town, or I was dealing with mothers and doing mother things, and so that's why this week it's not. So next Sunday will be the Zoom call at 7 o'clock for if you are a member in the Pressure Wash Help community, and that will be next Monday. But don't forget, Marketing Monday is tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. I'm going to go over, last week I went over a CRM, or I didn't go over a CRM, I went over Responsibid. This week I'm going to go over a little bit more on Marquette, I believe, is what I'm going to try to do. How do I not hurt the plants, scrubs, shrubs, or any other side of vinyl, cattle, fence, 8? Have to soft wash. Water is your friend. You can pre-wet those plants and shrubs, and that will help keep you from killing stuff. Just joined. Love this. Awesome. The tree limbs and plants are up next to, right behind the fence. Yeah, water it. Put some water over there. Are gearboxes worth it? Starting to work on upgrading, thinking of going that way. I like the gearboxes. I've had a couple of the pressure washes with the gearboxes. You don't have to worry about belts getting loose. I've never had an issue with a gearbox on a pressure washer. The only thing I've had an issue with a gearbox on a pressure washer is they let the oil run out of the pressure washer, not out of the gearbox, out of the pressure washer. And then things started coming out of the bottom of the pressure washer. So that wasn't a good thing. It made a lot of knocking noises, and they just kept running it, and the knocking noises got louder until it never knocked again. So, because when I went to pull it to see what was wrong with it, because I didn't see that it didn't have, I mean, they had ran it out of oil for a while. And when I went to pull it, it was no pulley, because the pump had went through barred on it. So that's the only thing you got to look at. Can window cleaner be downstream? Yeah, but it's probably going to be pretty diluted. Chem can explode in heat. Yeah, it can. I showed a picture of a pump up sprayer couple that F-Bomb sent me of where it had exploded from the heat. So we got to be careful out there, guys. Just remounted the pressure washer on the side of the truck shelf, work truck, and it has so much easier access. Looking to go out this week. How can I connect directly? Just got my rig and I need your help. Spent over $30,000 to start. Well, you can do the mentorship because I've started it, but I haven't started 100%. That will get you me. Or you can do a Zoom call with me. I don't know what the link of it is, but you can email me and I will send you some stuff. pressurewashhelp@gmail.com. pressurewashhelp@gmail.com. How do you get paid? So that's a great question. There's a lot of good CRMs out there that you can get paid through credit card. Obviously a lot of people like getting paid by cash, and that's good. And if you really want a business, that's not really how you run a business. But There's CRMs out there that will take credit cards for you, and it makes life a lot easier. If you go to kingofpressurewash.com, and go to the resource page, there'll be a tab at the top that says resource page or resources. And then I have a whole bunch of CRMs in there. I have cheap ones, I have high dollar ones. Marquette is probably the one I would be telling you to look at. Or there's free ones out there too. Lawn book or lawn yard books. Yard books is one that you can do for free, and then you can also take payment for free. DJ did that for 2 or 3 years before he ever upgraded out of there. Best tip for doing better with Google Ads: make sure your negative keywords are there. Make sure that you have a good landing page. Make sure it has large call to actions, all of those good things that go along with it. Some of it's your competitors, all that good stuff goes along with it too. What ratio do you use for soft washing composite? I just use house wash mix, which is, a percent, 1% to 1.5% is where I would be at. There's tools out there to tell you exactly what people search in your area. Humbug. Also, local domination tools to maximize your organic traffic. Well, that's 3 times what mine's worth. Be really careful out there. What is the best use for natural stone or stone veneer siding? I use house wash. You can use other things out there. I can't think what the name of it is. Like One Restore or something. Usually house wash mix and pull it up pretty well. There's been a lot of huff out there about whether you need to scrub when doing oxidation removal or not. This product versus that product. What's been your go-to for oxidation removal? Run. I never did one. I did like 2 jobs of oxidation removal. It's not worth my time. I know there's a video out there that makes it look so easy to get there, and it is. I've seen people screw up a lot of stuff, and so that's why I say don't mess with it. It's not worth it. You can go do 2-3 more house washes by the time you're going to spend on that house, and it still may look like crap when you're done. You start seeing signs of dying plant life after a couple of days. What would you suggest telling the customer or actions you can take? Pre-wet everything and post and wet everything down really well before and after. Especially where you're out there in Dallas or where it's hot. I would be pre-wetting everything, giving everything water, because that is, it is hot out there, and so I would make sure I'm wetting everything. Just increased house wash minimum, went from 305 to 410. Had to because of the numbers, fuel taxes, SH. Yep, that is true. Um, I hope you spent 20,000. I hope you spent 20,000 for marketing. Yep, that is true. Spend more money on marketing. I used some bleach today on the trim right under the edge of the shingles. It had black lines, and I let it sit there 15. So if you're talking about black lines like that, you're probably talking more like um, gutter streaks and stuff, oxidation. So that you're going to need something like F13 or gutter grenade is what you're going to need to be able to get that off. So much equipment on back order, not cool. Thinking of booking jobs and just renting a machine. And you can absolutely do that. Absolutely do that. And I got your email. I just haven't responded to nobody's emails for the last couple of days because I've been out of town. Oil changes. When tips or tricks. I try to do them about every 250 hours. Is where I would be trying to do my oil changes on my pressure washer. And when I do an oil change, I change the oil. I put all new filters on it, the oil filter and a fuel filter, and I'll even change the plugs out because it doesn't cost you that much. And then I changed the pump oil out too because it doesn't cost you that much. So I always changed everything when I changed it out. And I've got some videos talking about it too. So my first customer paid $300 for a house wash and $200 for a driveway. I had to do them separately. My average ticket since then has been $200 at 20 cents per square foot, raised to 25 on both. Yes, you can do that. Wow, you guys are killing it. Congratulations. Keep banging. Make a comment, everyone, how business is compared to last year. I know some people have done well. I know some people that haven't done well. I mean, it's keep flipping rocks. Sometimes I don't think it's the customers. I think people they get complacent. They think that what worked last year is going to work this year, and most of the time it does, but they're not willing to change. Or they found that Google Ads, or they start putting a bunch of money in Google Ads, and that worked for them well last year. Now it's not working as well this year because you got more competition, and you're trying to do same cheap bids as before on the Google Ad side of things. And so I think that's some things that you got to look at. Because the reason why I believe that is because, like here, we had a major competitor come in, Pro Power or PPW, and it's driving the ad cost up. Our ads last year, DJ was getting around $13-14 an average click. Now we're up to $16-17 an average click just by that one competitor coming in here. And so, you get more competitors, or you get people willing to spend money. And that's not going to work as well as it used to, because now more people are getting in there to get some of that pie. And if you're not willing to raise your prices and adjust with it, then that can be the same thing. Yeah, I got your message, Brandon. Again, I haven't responded to anybody because I've been out of town for the last 3 days. So trying to start a cleaning business, what's better, pressure washer or a soft wash system? Also, how do you get the mix down right? So here's the thing about a pressure washing or a soft wash system. I'm going to tell you, so here's the deal. With a soft wash system, you can do house washing, you can do roof cleaning. It's hard to do deck cleaning. It's hard to do concrete with just a soft wash system. With a pressure washer and a downstreamer or an X-Jet, you can do concrete cleaning, you can do house washing, you can do deck cleaning. You can do everything except roof cleaning. You can't do roof cleaning with a pressure washer. So my suggestion is go with a pressure washer instead of a soft wash system. Just because I can do everything with a pressure washer, there's only so much I can do with a soft wash system. To get the mix right, with a pressure washer, you can use a downstream injector, use straight 12%, and you can be just good on your mix. We haven't had jobs closing. I guess it's Pressure Wash Missouri. We haven't had jobs closing. I guess it's because we had a good first week, but it has been hard getting jobs out. Our GMB is back up and running, and we have road signs out again. And it's being consistent, prolific, and relentless, man. It's not just doing it one day and then being like, well, we're busy. And then that's why I always preach that, yes, we got this job, but we got to sit there and we got to keep pushing. We got to go Facebook Live. We got to do all those things to keep pushing and pushing. We can't just do it one time and be like, well, I only did it one time. That's it. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep flipping rocks. It's one of those things that it does take time to get our name out there. It does take time to, make sure we keep putting signs out. We can't just put them out one week and be like, well, I put them out and that's all I got. Well, we got to keep being prolific, relentless, man. We got to keep going over. This is why in my process of the 25 steps of, yes, we got this job, but we got to work on that other job. Are we doing our 5 rounds or 10 rounds? Are we are we going into businesses when we're not busy? Are we doing things to make that phone keep ringing? It's not that we can go put out 100 signs and be like, well, we put out 100 signs. Well, we got to put out another 100 signs and another 100 signs, and we got to keep putting our pictures in our Google My Business, and we got to keep doing our post and do Facebook posts and Google My Business post and Facebook post and Google My Business post and Nextdoor post. And it's a cycle. It's not something that we can sit there and shortcut and say, well, that's all we got to do. We got to follow up on some of the old customers and see if, what's our follow-up process? Are we following up? Are we following up and following up and following up? And that's what we have to do to keep it going. Here's the thing about that. So, like I've said about Benjamin Gregory, I don't know if he's in here or not, but he did Facebook, and that's all he did. But he posted all the time in Facebook, and he did his Google My Business. And then he started doing LinkedIn, and he posted 3-4 times a day or 3-4 times a week on LinkedIn. And so, if you're going to use Facebook, you got to. I went and looked at Andrew and Savannah's Facebook, and they posted. How many times was it? 72 times. 72 times. They went live at least once a day, and they posted 72 times in a 15-day span to do Facebook. So when I mean we got to post, we got to post, and we got to post, and we got to post, and we got to go live, and we got to go live, and we got to go post. And so it's just one of those things that it takes time. And that's how we can get those big jobs. Hey, man, any thoughts on a 7 GPM? I'm looking at a Remco Fat Boy 7 GPM. The 7 versus the 5 ain't much difference. Most people go with the 5 because the 7 gives them a bunch of issues. The 7's electrical side of things is not that good, is what I would say about that. Need mentorship. kingofpressurewash.com/mentorship. That's where it is. Change sign from house washing to pressure washing, and they have been blowing up the phone. Yep. Very true, Indiana Power Clean. This is one of those things that sometimes we put the wrong information on our signs, and that's the reason why they don't work. Our little money bushes, where's my money bushes at? Pressure wash. I actually like pressure washing, is what I like. I don't just like pressure wash. I like pressure washing. I haven't tested pressure wash versus pressure washing, but I think more people think about pressure washing when we're dealing with it that way. I can get my sign back over there. Yeah, you're not the only one. Jason Hefner, he did, I think it was him, Greg Townsend didn't have no luck out of pressure or house washing. Because here's the thing, guys. We get in these groups, or we get in here and we learn about house washing, and that's an industry term. When people call you, they're looking for pressure washing. I can go show you all the ads clicked, and very few people are typing in house washing. Most of my clicks are coming in from either pressure washing or power washing. I looked it up the other day, and DJ, I think, had almost 600 impressions, and 400 of those impressions either came off of pressure washing or power washing. Nothing came off of house washing. House washing is an industry term. Do most of you guys do your own Facebook ads, or do you pay somebody to handle them? I need to pull the trigger and get some ads going. That's a good question. How long do you wait to follow up on a quote? The next day, I'm calling them to make sure they got the quote, and then after that, I'm going to text them and message them and keep going. Yeah, be careful with that. Like I say, I know there's a video made with Cleanse All BC oxidation removal, and it looks amazing and simple. I've had guys calling me crying because they've been out there 8 hours and it stripped every bit of the paint off of a aluminum siding house, and that wasn't the first one that happened to. Anyone using their rig for sewer jetting? This is a good thing to do for like downspouts and that kind of thing. Jason, a 2,500 PSI pressure washer versus a 3,000 PSI. Any difference? Which one would you recommend? If I'm going to go with the 3,000, I'm going to go with the 8 gallon a minute, because you're going to spend about the same amount of money. The only difference is the motor. The pump's the exact same. The only difference is that 2,500 PSI is a, well, you can actually get some of the Honda 390 versus the Honda 690. And actually, some of the Honda 390s, they will get up to 3,500 too. What is the best way to get rid of oil stains on concrete? Great question. Now, here's the answer to this question. There's several things that we can do to get oil off concrete, but we can't always guarantee that we're going to get the stain out. We can get the oil up, and that can be with a good degreaser or hot water. But there's no guarantee that we will get the stain all the way out. And so this is why I say never park in a driveway, because I've had a guy that they went to the oil change place, and they went to the oil change place and they didn't put the oil plug all the way in, and they come home and the oil comes out on the driveway, and it was an old driveway. It was a crappy old driveway. And we went and we got it mostly out. I mean, it was probably 95%, but there was still 5% of the oil stain. We got the oil up, but we couldn't get the stain all the way out. And they ended up getting a new $25,000 driveway out of that. And so this is why I say never park in a driveway unless you absolutely have to, because this is some things that can go wrong with you. And again, I've used all of I've used everything. I've used acids. I've used anything to do that. And usually at the end of the day, Purple Power or Super Clean or a good degreaser will do what you need it to do. 2 local guys in my town shut down for not reclaiming on their fleet and truck wash out. Yes, that is true. I can see that. When you start dealing with that, that's where you got to get in trouble, or that's where you can get in trouble at. I had my website company set up my Facebook ads, ran them for 3 months, not one hit. No idea how targeting was set up in the back end. I personally haven't had any luck with Facebook ads. It's been yard signs and word of mouth. Have to order some signs tonight. What's a good pump oil to buy? I'm going to have to order it since they don't have anything decent around me. You can use 30 weight non-detergent is what you can use. Is where if you're going to go local to like a parts house store, make sure it's non-detergent, because what happens is if it's detergent, it will foam up and that causes issue. But 30 weight non-detergent, or you can order pump oil. What up, Mr. Hunter? Mr. Geiman, I have a 7-gallon DeWalt. Can I switch to 3/4 SH and H2O inlet instead of 1/2 inch without messing up the pump? Yeah, you should be able to. That ain't what I wanted. I want to market to real estate companies. What should I use to get jobs? I wouldn't worry about real estate companies much. Realtors. Here's why. Right now, they can sell a house, looks like a turd, $100,000 over asking price. So they don't care about cleaning houses. And that's just, you might find 1 or 2 good realtors, but right now, there ain't a whole lot of them out there that's going to worry about it. Last year, my phone started blowing up in March. This year, it hasn't picked up until now. Yeah. Just started telling customers that I will not be the lowest bid, but will be more than likely the highest, and still getting the jobs. Yeah, I wouldn't tell them that. That's not something I'd be telling a customer. Hey, I'm the most expensive person around here. I would tell them, hey, I'm the guarantee that I will answer the phone, and I guarantee that you will be 100% happy, satisfaction. I would go after that stuff before I say I'm the most expensive. I'm flipping rocks all this week. Marketing is all I'm about right now. Walking in every place I see, clean or dirty. I did 3 Facebook Lives. And look, now you're going to do $10,000. See? Look how that works, man. Any tips on deck cleaning? What chemicals do you recommend? So I always use the SH house wash mix. I spray it down, use it. You can use all different kind of chemicals. Sodium hydroxide. There's a bunch of them out there. Can 5% SH concentrate lift the paint off stucco? No, it shouldn't. Is 2% recommended on stucco? Usually pressure is what lifts the paint off. Yeah, I always use 2 to 4%. Hey, I have a landscape company. I want to get myself into pressure washing. I would go to kingofpressurewash.com and go in there and you'll find all kinds of information, or go through all my videos on here. I've got a lot of guys. So one of my good friends here in Cincinnati, he's on the east side of Cincinnati, and he used to do lawn care, and he sold all his lawn care, and now he does about $500,000 in pressure washing in one little area, and it's all residential. Yes, I said that. It's all residential. He does no commercial, very little. When doing your walk around for a quote, take pictures. Day of the job is scheduled, take pictures again. And while working and after, take pictures. You should have 80 to 100 pictures. And guess what we can do with those pictures? We can put them on Google My Business. We can put them in Facebook. We can do all kinds of stuff when we do our pictures. How much cheaper per square foot should I charge for commercial, and how many square feet should something be? I'm not charging much cheaper for commercial. Pictures are worth 1,000 words and great for ads. I have a construction company pricing jobs for me. They actually price higher than me. I show up, do the job, and get a check in the mail. Different than I normally do, but it's not. But I do, but it's bad. That means you can raise your prices, Michael. That's the beautiful thing. That means you're too cheap. You're too cheap down there in the hills of Kentucky. You can raise those prices. Quit listening to some people on YouTube that talks that, and I know you listen to, that talks about a bunch of cheap pricing. That he's going into Facebook groups and hounding people because why they're complaining that they're the most expensive person. Why not? Here's the thing about that person. I would about guarantee you he's never made $100,000, and he's been in business for. He was one of my competitors way back then in 2016, 2017. And so, it's about growing a business, and that's what we got to talk about, not growing a job. If you want a job, then fine, have a job. But if you want a business, there's a complete difference when we're talking about a business versus a job. Can I start with a Troy Built 3100 with a Honda in it? You can. You can start with whatever you want. We spent $2,500 on Facebook ads, hired an ad expert, 0 jobs. Any other avenues? Google ads. One of your podcasts, did you mention something about Google Pics or something like that for storage or whatever? Yeah, Google Photos for storage, like for memory refresher, so my camera roll and my camera. Yeah, so that's actually what I have right here right now is Google Photos, and so these are all my photos here is in Google Photos, and you might have to, or you can use Company Cam is another one. Google Photos is free or really cheap to be able to download them. So what you do have to do is open it up every so often, and there's your little head there is there, and it's got like little dots around it, and so it's got to upload all those pictures to it. So that can take some time. So yes, Google Photos. It looks like this here. I don't know if it'll show it or not. Google Photos, right there. What do you think your square foot a parking garage would be? 125,000 repeat. I'm going to try to bid that per day probably, which 2,000 square feet is where a good point is, unless you got a couple rigs, is where you would be at. So for the dead plants, would insurance cover that? Probably not. Maybe, but maybe not. It depends on if you got the right coverage. If you got the right coverage, then yes. If you don't have the right coverage, if you just have general liability, it is probably not going to cover it. Or how would you go about it? And so usually I try to tell them that they're gone dormant and they will come back and try to go down that route because it will come back unless you just flat out fried everything. But it should come back. And so I would get some good fertilizer on there and neutralizers, and so that way trying to do that. Interested to hear the challenge for next week. I haven't given that yet, so I usually give them tomorrow night. I actually had a suggestion from one of the other guys, and I think I'm going to do it, but I got to figure out which one I want to do. Yep, that's right. 99% prospect customers do not know what soft washing is, so I try not to address it unless appropriate. Yep, that is an industry term, is what that is. I have to deal with PPW too. They just moved to they just moved an office here in Cincinnati, and they are spending money hand over fist in Facebook ads and Google ads, all kinds of stuff. But here's the good thing about that. They charge a lot. They're at 35 cents a square foot for a house wash. 35 cents a square foot for a house wash. So that means you can be at 35 cents per square foot for a house wash. Thumbs up, please. Thumbs up. Do I need a reclamation system for residential? Nah. If you are washing wood that has that thick black buildup on it, how can you get that black gump off? I sprayed a fence 3 times with 4.25, and it's just not making a difference. Is it painted? That's weird. That should come clean. Are you using a white tip or a 25-degree high pressure tip on it? Not high pressure, but you will have to hit it with you don't want to hit it no more than 800 PSI with a 25-degree nozzle. It depends on your state and if the water is leaving the property. That is true. Most ordinance reclaim if water is leaving the property or going through a storm. Best way to clean a stained deck is to use a house wash mix and not to go too crazy on the paint. What would you say or do in a Facebook Live? Hey guys, I am here at this house and we are getting ready to wash this house and we are going to do that. Or you could be like Savannah Andrew and they just talking as they're driving and have fun and all of that good stuff. Take this phone, act like there's a person and you're talking to that person. That's what we need to do. Realtors are selling houses without inspection, so definitely not worry about house cleaning. Exactly. Yep, don't tell them you're the most expensive. DJ's been down that route. White, do I have to scrub the black spots so much when house cleaning? Are you talking about the little black spots? Those are called, if you're talking about the little black spots, those are called shotgun fungus, and you are not going to get them off. What's the highest GPM before you need a buffer tank? Probably a 4 or 5. I know it depends on your water, but I did have a guy here that had a 5.5 gallon with it. I've been monitoring my average ticket while I've been slow versus busy. When I'm slow, my average ticket is 700. When I'm busy, it's 1100. My theory is high-end clients don't call until peak season. Well, and that's kind of where I say people don't call until they start mowing grass and stuff. And they're outside in that. Is $250 an hour? Yeah, that's good. I'll even shoot for 300. What should SH never be used on when cleaning around the house? Stained wood, painted doors, yeah, those for sure. Like the painted or the stained doors, stay the heck away from it. The stained ceilings, stay the heck away from those too. I do 1% on houses and wait 10 to 15 minutes. Do I need a better scrubber? No. Just rinse it off. If you're talking about the little black dots, they're not going to come off. They will never come off. Them are called shotgun fungus. You can pop the top head off, and it's still going to be underneath of it. And that's just part of something that you got to tell them that we don't clean that. That's not an organic staining that we're going to get off. Hey, I have a 3200 2.5 with which surface cleaner is best for my pressure washer. Don't know which one to get. Probably like the little 16-inch or 12-inch from Home Depot, to be honest. What about categorizing wealthy customers and lower income customers? Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Most of your customers are going to be shopping at Whole Foods and not Walmart. Most of your customers are not living in the trailer park. Most of your customers are probably live in a 300, depending on where you are, a 300,000, $500,000 house. I was in Denver this week, which nothing's dirty. You don't pressure wash in Denver, but I was in Denver, and the house looks a house in that neighborhood here in Cincinnati. In any neighbor in Cincinnati might go for 200,000, 300,000. In Denver, it was $1.5 million house. So you just kind of got to see that. How did that super sucker downstream test work out? It did all right. I never did have the results. It's all the videos are still in here. Okay, I think I burnt some shingles on the roof. How do you burn shingles on the roof? Was washing a roof and things didn't smell or look right. Went to see what was wrong and there was a kink in a water line. Was spraying 12.5 on the roof. Would it be okay? Yeah, but I don't understand where the smelling would come from. Thanks, Jason. You're awesome, buddy. I appreciate your time. Glad you all had a great tip. Yep. Jason, when are you doing a show? When am I doing a show? I don't know. What kind of show am I supposed to do? I do a show every Thursday night and Wednesday night. And actually, this Wednesday night, I will be doing one instead of Thursday night. I'll be on here Thursday night instead of Wednesday night. Because Thursday night, my oldest kid has tryouts and my youngest kid has tryouts. And and they're pretty late. So I will not be doing a live on this Thursday night, but it will be Wednesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern time. What's the math to get the price at 35 cents a square foot? The house is 2,000 square foot times 0.35 square foot. That's the math. And 44 or 45 cents a square foot for roof washing. That's a good spot to be at. When you run out of water in the 1 gallon, measure the amount from your gun. Example, 12 gallons would be 12 to 1. You guys ask a lot of questions. If you all like the this here, give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments of just doing questions like I did tonight. I know I had a lot of people on tonight, so that's pretty awesome. When's your next Christmas light class? Well, I've got to do some contacting with some people. I may have one coming up out west and the end of June, 1st of July. Otherwise, it'll be probably September and October, maybe one in August. But I'm thinking I've had one person contact me. I got to contact him some more of doing a class out west, out either in Seattle or Portland. I would probably rather do Seattle because that's where I may be going anyway. And so that's when I'm going to do a pressure washing and a Christmas light class out there. Because I've had you guys ask me to do a class out there, so you better show up. I'll come looking for you. Surface cleaners work. Any to recommend? Yes, they work great. Depending on your size of machine is the one I would recommend. Love this live chat. Yes, sir. Q&A. So you all love the Q&A. Love it and appreciate it. No, you misunderstood me. When am I going to be a guest on your show? Whenever you want to. What kind of price difference square foot? live chat is always best. Once I get some hours under my belt, I'll probably start a channel. I'm already making videos and finish with about my fishing trips. I see you in Seattle, he said. Format flows good. What do we got questions over here before I jump off here? What's up, Antonio? When on the class? I don't know yet. I gotta do some more dates because I have my class schedule, but it's not actually up to date right now because I haven't been in here. What surfactant do you recommend to over another? Is there any that's better for glass and not leaving? I like roof snot. Is the one with the lemon smell or cherry smell. I know some people also will do EBC in it. Will also help with it. Can help in it too. Like the Q&A, everyone smash the likes. Using my big guy 28 surface cleaner tomorrow with my new 8-gallon. I'll probably make a TikTok. Awesome. Go check out kingofpressurewash.com. If you want to go check out the membership, I will be doing Marketing Monday tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Last week we had over 40 people there, so that was pretty awesome to have 40 people there. So on my second season this year and just got my first $5,000 month. That's a high five. That's awesome. That is amazing. That's a great milestone because if you can do 5,000, you can do 10,000. If you can do 5,000, you can do 100,000. So that is awesome. So go check out kingofpressurewash.com and I'll see you all on Wednesday at 9 o'clock. See you at Wednesday at 9 o'clock.